Let's prepare now to welcome Janet as we sing Sacred Love along with Daniel Namod.
You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God, sacred love is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are blessed peace, blessed peace is all that you are. You are blessed peace, God, blessed peace is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are deepest joy, deepest joy is all that you are. You are deepest joy, God, deepest joy is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place.
Let us begin our time together in meditation and prayer by closing our eyes or a soft gaze to the floor and breathing in and breathing out, feeling comfortable and grounded in your own chair. Welcome to this place of love and light, one presence, one power. Welcome to this place of loving life. Here we are together, heart to heart, knowing always where to start. One presence, one power. Welcome to this place of loving life. And as we continue to feel the breath of life, we imagine a circle of awareness embracing you now. This circle, the wheel of awareness, now represents the experience of being fully aware. We have designed our lives to practice balance, to experience consciousness as we practice integrating and embracing Christ consciousness, love consciousness, the transforming power of love is the inner change. We focus now on the breath, anchoring our attention and becoming grounded in this moment fully. We begin to tune into our own senses. And as we do that, we let go with every breath. With every breath, practice the power of letting go. And we expand this feeling by focusing on the inner signals in your body, the sensations of your muscles, the bones of your facial region, sensations in your head and neck and shoulders, your back, the muscles of your abdomen, your pelvic region, your hips, your legs. And now we move to the sensation of our respiratory system, our heart, and our whole body. And then we observe any mental chatter. And we take a deep breath and invite any mental activity in the form of awareness to arise, and also to stay present in this awareness. We move into this experience of the body by silently repeating, I am a body, but I am not my body. And silently repeat, I have a mind, but I am not my mind. And then silently repeat, I have emotions, but I am not my emotions. And now silently focus on your kind intentions, cultivating in this moment intentions of kindness, care, empathy, compassion, bringing forth fully the positive changes in your inner world and your interpersonal world now. I invite you now to repeat the following phrases silently in your inner mind, repeating silently after me. May all living beings be happy. May all living beings be healthy. May all living beings be safe. May all living beings flourish and thrive. And now, taking a deep, expanding breath, we send those same wishes to the inner sense of who we are, to the I am. Breathing the I am. Repeating after me these phrases. May I be happy and live with meaning and connection and a grateful heart. May I be healthy and have a body that gives energy, strength, and stability. May I be safe and protected from any inner or outer harm. May I flourish and thrive and live with the ease of well-being. Now, taking a deep breath again, we send these wishes to our new sense of who we are. And now we enter into the we, and we repeat these statements. May we be happy and live with meaning, connection, and a grateful heart. May we be healthy and have a body that gives energy, strength, and stability. May we be safe and protected from any inner or outer harm. May we flourish and thrive and live with the ease of well-being. And we go into the silence for a few moments.
You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are.
Good morning, and what a glorious morning it is. I'm so happy to be here with you today and to share our message together, the law of life. The law of life really is the law of love. So what does it mean to live in love? To know that life is a wonder and that we in any moment can see the immense experience of life and love. And during this third week of the Advent season, we prepare for Christmas, for the birth of the Christ consciousness in you, to allow this enlightened Christo energy to blossom, to be brought forth more brilliantly and brightly than ever before. And before we get into that, I just want to remind you that yes, we are in different times, and we are all being required to take care of one another. And so I have a little activity for you, and I would call it your new quarantine nickname during Christmas, so we can keep each other safe. So I want you to think about how you feel right now. What emotion comes to you right now? And then I want you to think of the last thing that you ate. So my name today would be Joyful Toast. So whatever name you've chosen, just make it fun. Let's have fun this season, even though we are being asked to be in the circle of love. So in a split second, in a very split second, you can make a decision to love more. You see, we have this incredible built-in God gauge. Jesus once said, and it is in John 15:12, "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you." And this is true for every person on the planet. The law of life, the law of love. Love is that quality that's represented in this time of the year, and particularly this Sunday of Advent. The key to the kingdom of your own being and the interior life is about the practice of developing this love through every interaction, and to commit to the daily discipline of prayer and meditation so that you may increase this awareness. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founders of the Unity Movement, built a very strong foundation. And then they allowed this to enter every aspect of their being, of their soul, to make the invisible visible. Carolyn Mice, we all know her work, I think most of us do. She says that what drains your spirit drains your body. What fuels your spirit fuels your body. So this holiday season and every day, fuel it with love. Fuel it with love. And awaken to life. Awaken to this miraculous being that you are, and to the expression of that with everyone you come in contact with. You see, that is the number one law, the law of love. I thought I'd put this fun picture up because this is what I call the three sisters. And I want you all right now to remember a time when you were waiting for Christmas. This was the photo that always was taken pre-Christmas. Mom would always take us. In fact, at the time, the photographer would come to your home and he would take the pictures in preparation for Christmas. So this was the year, and it was always done quite a few weeks beforehand. But this was also the Christmas that actually was one of the most difficult Christmases. My mother always took to ensure that magnificent Christmases always occurred. And the one Christmas that was not so good was the Christmas that Dad was ill. He was, quote unquote, drying out at Miracle Valley, which is up between Maple Ridge and Mission. And it was run by the Salvation Army. And it was a place where people could go who were devastated in a single moment that had become a single week, that had become a month, and then 6 months. He was there to find his miracle. And he did. And Mom, she created our miracle at home that year. She did everything she could to bring even more joy under the Christmas tree, even though Dad wasn't able to be with us. I do remember, though, that we did get to go visit him the next day, and that was a joyful experience. So here's something to remember during this holiday season. Smile, be joyful, and love, even when you know all the facts. You see, the facts of life can sometimes cause us to forget that we are whole and that we are connected to the divine. So whatever challenge, you can make a difference by a single thought, a single gesture, and see instead the magnificence of life and love. Divine love in the heart establishes one in fearlessness and indomitable courage. Charles Fillmore wrote that in his book, Christian Healing. And I think it's true for any of the wisdom traditions that you may be a part of, that you embrace. They found unity shortly after that. My parents, I mean. It wasn't too long after that, in 1969, that I arrived at a Unity Church in Vancouver. And there to greet me was the minister. And he got right down to my eye level, and he looked straight in my eyes, Reverend Dale Newsom, and he said, "We are so glad you're here. We are so glad that your family is here and you are welcome." I walked through those doors and I was invited to go downstairs to Children's Church. And there, I really felt at home. I was there with the teachers at the time, Dawn and Marnie Stewart, and they were love in action. And we can be love in action. Every word that came out of their mouth, every kind gesture that they showed to the children in this incredible spiritual laboratory was of love. And there was Jesus We learned about the man. We learned about the teaching. We learned about a new age, a new thought of being. That was the message of Jesus. Yes, Jesus was a carpenter. He was a brother and a friend. He walked the Sea of Galilee, a fisherman of men, of all people. He was the Prince of Peace, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. You see, he understood the power of his own relationship with God. He knew it fully. He did not feel ever the separation. He demonstrated. He knew what his interior home looked like. And he knew where the divine dwelled. So the question I have for you right now is, do you know how to get back to your own interior home that encases love, to your own kingdom that dwells inside of you? Love holds the soul and body together. The interior castle of your own being. You have the keys at any time to this interior castle of your own soul. Living a life where our spiritual nature is more visible than our human nature. Entering this castle of love. I wanted to speak about Teresa of Avila. Teresa of Avila was a 15th century nun, but she was a mystic. She stepped outside of the box of the traditional religion at the time. She stepped out in a place of faith and love, and each one of you is a mystic too. We all have the ability to live and breathe in the mystic qualities of the divine. And she wrote a book called The Interior Castle, and it was based on her understanding of the interior life that we have called our relationship with love, our relationship with God, our relationship with our own divine nature. This castle of love is also a road to the spiritual knowledge of God and the interior soul work that can assist us in finding our path in the world. And the castle has many mansions, many rooms, dwelling places, each place describing the expression of consciousness that we can embody to feel the deeper, closer connection with God. Teresa of Avila taught that and assumed that the entrance into the first mansion, to the first room, was through prayer and meditation. Jesus said that our Father's house has many mansions. So what was he saying? He was saying there are many states of consciousness, and contemplation and reinforcing your interior castle of love will allow you to do this. You see, in the many mansions, in the many rooms, there are rooms of healing, rooms of spiritual gifts, rooms of grace and humility. And she is very well known for this short 4-line stanza of a poem. Let nothing disturb you. Let nothing frighten you. All things are passing away. God never changes. Patience obtains all things. The power of love is the strongest force in the universe. And the journey to the center of your own soul is where peace lies, joy awaits, and love expands. And we're going to claim it right now. We are going to claim it as our own life, knowing it to be true. With God, all things are possible, and with love, all things are possible. So let your castle become the sacred ground beneath your feet. Living from the power of love, listening and following the voice of your soul. You are not alone. There is no higher purpose in this life than to be called into the mystical relationship with the divine. Teresa of Avila believed in this vision of the soul as a beautiful crystal castle. Imagine that for yourself now, a template for your modern spiritual journey, where you meet all aspects of yourself, all aspects of spirit, and every encounter with God as your own divinity. So what keeps you loving more? Well, life always gives us opportunities to do this. And the only time that we ever get into trouble or get into a sense of not being connected is when we have the illusion of separation. So to keep us loving more, I've got a little practical exercise that you can all use this season, and it is called HALT. And HALT stands for hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. So I'm asking everyone this holiday season to do a checkout and a checkup of where you're at in any particular moment. Oftentimes, we don't always take care of our personal needs. So sometimes we forget to have nutritious food presented on a table of glory. We don't take care of our emotions, and we let things fester, and we turn things from anger into resentment and lonely. If we don't deal with the loneliness aspect of our life, the place of separation, we become lonelier and we become depressed. And so this holiday season, find ways to diffuse the loneliness. Pick up the phone. Make a buddy, a prayer buddy. Have a prayer buddy that you connect with every day. Go out for a walk. Smile through your mask. And somebody will see it on the other side. And then tired. Are we getting enough rest? Are we taking the time to renew and to regenerate our human body, as we sometimes can have very busy days full of lots of chatter in our mind, or Zoom calling, or many of us are still working, whatever it is. So HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. And I'm going to take the time now to introduce you to somebody, because our inner environment can also show a healthy human environment if we take it to heart. And what keeps us from loving more? Well, I want to introduce you to Lola Holmes. Now, Lola Holmes is 102 years old. She is the oldest curler on the planet. Yes, that great Canadian ice game, curling. And she just broke this Guinness Book of World Record for being the oldest. As a young woman, she was a curler, and then she gave it up because she got carpal tunnel syndrome. So then she took up Tai Chi, and then at 80 years old, she started curling again. And she said in an interview recently that most of the people on the team are in their 50s. So, you know, she gets to be with the young'uns. And there she is as a young woman. There she is on the curling rink in her Halloween costume. And there she is with the rock, the solid rock that is part of the game of curling. And her mantra, keep active, get interested in something. Don't be a couch potato. Keep moving. And they actually gave her at the Vancouver Curling Club a rock, one of these curling stones. And they wanted to give it to her. And she said, well, you can give it to me, but it's not going to sit in a glass case in the curling rink. We're going to use it. So she put it on the ice instead. And this woman is such an inspiration. This is where I want to be at 102 years old. How about you? Because with every beat of your heart radiates the harmonizing power of divine love, and you are a catalyst for love. So a little interest as well in what is the word of the year this year. And I bet you some of you could guess it right off the top of your head. But according to CBC, who recorded this through the researchers who were putting the dictionary together for this year of new words, the word of the year is lockdown. So what does it mean to be locked down? I would say that locking down is about locking in to the interior castle of your own being. To be a living luminary. And to allow the power of love, the power of you, the power of me, the power of our interconnectedness to everything be put out as light in the world. And when love comes to town, and surely at this time of the year we're feeling it even more, we can enter into our own physical home in a new way this Christmas. In a new way, because love has come to town. And Teresa of Avila has a prayer that I would like to end my talk with today, to my message of bringing love to town. And here it goes. May you trust God that you are exactly where you are meant to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith. May you use those gifts that you have received and pass on the love that has been given to you. And may you be content knowing you are a child of God. Let the present settle into your bones and allow the soul the freedom to sing, dance, praise, and love. It is there for each and every one of us. It is. It is there for the taking. So I wish you unconditional love of God in all the dreams of your heart and your everyday prayers. And Merry Christmas to all.
Jesus was a carpenter, a brother and a friend, brought to us a precious gift, the love that knows no end. Blessed and born the Son of God, a fisherman of men, but he was once his mama's baby child. Walking as a teacher in the hills of Galilee, to share his light, his Father's love for all the world to see. Bore across a crown of thorns, died at Calvary, but he was once his mama's baby child. Did she rock him in her loving arms and hold him close, safe from harm, and wipe his tears and keep him warm? He was once his mama's baby child. I think of my own daughter, a dear and precious one. I see the now unfolding of the woman she'll become. She held my hands to learn to walk, then found her feet to run. But she was once this mama's baby child, and I would rock her in my loving arms and hold her close, safe from harm. I'd wipe her tears and keep her warm. She was once this mama's baby child. We all are born to innocence, God's light, God's love from heaven sent. Sometimes we wonder where we went when we're too afraid to see God's love we're born to be. Somewhere in the world tonight, a war has just begun. It's hard to see the faces at the far end of a gun, but in our hearts we truly know our faith shall go undone, 'cause they will reach their mama's baby child. And they were born to innocence, God's light, God's love from afraid to see God's love they're born to be. Jesus was a carpenter, a brother and a friend, brought to us a precious gift, the love that knows no end. Blessed and born the Son of God, a fisherman of men. But he was once his mama's baby. Jesus was sweet Mary's baby child.
Wow, Edith, thank you so much. And Edith, thank you for your hauntingly beautiful songs. I'm all choked up here. And Janet, thank you so much for your encouraging and enlightening message.